Boom, boom, boom. This is Jared, and I'm back. Hey, guys, this is Jared A. Brown. I'm the host of the Warriors Quest show, and I'm totally amped, all right, to do a show live on Instagram right now. And so please, if you would, don't be stingy, all right? Don't be stingy. I need your help, all right? If you're new to what I do, all right, I spotlight a kidney disease patient story every single week. And I give them an opportunity to tell their story about their search for a living kidney donor. And this week I'm doing that. I'm doing that again. All right? It's a wonderful opportunity. But the thing is I can't do it alone. All right? I need your help. So please share this. Share this so that I can help you and you can help me get this information out there, okay? All right, bear with me for just a moment. All right, so give me a... Okay. I've invited my guest. Hopefully he joins me. Here we go. Matt, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
I'm good. I can hear perfect. Can you hear me?
Good. Hey, brother, it's good to have you on this, man. I'm super amped to get your story out and to help you and make sure people understand that this is a battle. It's a struggle, and it's no joke, right?
Yes.
Well,
It is.
thank you so much for coming on the Warriors Quest show and helping me help you. If you would, though, what I'd like to do is have you kind of introduce yourself, and so that the people that are watching right now, that they can, know where you're from, and kind of get an idea of where you come from and what started your kidney disease journey, okay?
So, I'm originally from Jamaica. I've lived here for about 7 years now. I'm currently 25. I've had kidney problems since I was around 8 years old, but as I got older, progressively got worse and worse until on my 21st birthday, um, I was hospitalized, and then they realized my kidneys have gotten real bad. So I had to start dialysis, and I've been on it now for almost 4 years now.
Okay. So about 4 years now, okay. So what brought your family here to the United States from Jamaica? Was it work? Was it family? You had family already here?
Just better opportunity. My dad was already living here.
Okay.
Just better opportunity here. So that's why we came here.
Amen to that. Well, I've never visited Jamaica, but one of my good friends has been to Jamaica, and he loves it. In fact, he loves the music. But he also loves the food. So before we get a little bit more into your kidney disease, journey, your story, let me ask you a little bit about the food in Jamaica. So what's your favorite food that you maybe miss or that's maybe not made often enough when you're here in the United States?
I won't say the food. You can find the food pretty much here. It's not that difficult. So
Okay.
certain foods, like they have something called it's an apple. It's called OT apple. Usually eat, but it's not common up here because due to the fact that it usually carry worms and stuff with it, and they don't want to bring it up here.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Customs doesn't want to hear, so that's the reason. But other than that, you can generally find all the foods here and
Okay.
ingredients.
All right. So you prepare some of the same meals and same foods that you did here then, or is it just kind of a mix of what we eat here and what everybody eats, like in Florida or wherever you're at right now?
Depends on how hungry I am. I just mix stuff together and eat. But if I have the time, I'll make something, or my dad might cook something, or someone else in the house might cook something. Yeah. But you generally, the food's here, the season's here. You can usually find everything here in Florida. Well, I live in South Florida, so you can usually find everything here.
Okay. All right. So you've been on dialysis for about 4 years now, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And what did any doctors kind of maybe did they give you any idea of what maybe caused your kidney failure? Was it high blood pressure, diabetes, or?
It was a reflux. I had a reflux when I was 8, so
Okay.
it caused an infection, and infection eventually caused the kidneys to go bad over time.
Oh, wow. So it's more of an acute kidney injury then. It wasn't chronic. Okay. So with that
So I had
infection, that's
found from us. So I think it was 8 when I found out. Was at home. This was when I was in Jamaica. I was at home. I was sick the whole day. I had a fever and all that. I collapsed. My dad took me to the hospital, and they did some tests and I found out that my I had reflux, and that I had at the time it was a stage, it was a kidney disease, so stage 1. But as I got older, it, it got worse.
wow. Okay. Wow. Well, the so with the dialysis for 4 years now, in the beginning when you first started dialysis, this is one of the most, in my opinion, one of the most interesting parts of somebody's story with kidney disease is the very beginning, when you first start dialysis, because it, in some ways, man, it can really turn your life upside down. Do you know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
it's, you, it makes your life totally different than what your life was before that. So tell me, how did it change your life, and how has it still changed from what your life was before dialysis?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think personally for me there's been that significant of a change because in the back of my head I knew it was gonna happen one day. I didn't expect it to happen so soon, but I had a feeling it was gonna happen one day.
Okay, all right.
Um,
So you were expecting it to happen.
yeah, but I don't know. I think it's just for me personally, I just decided, it is what it is. It happened. I can't sit there and cry about it because crying that's going to solve anything. Um, I have to just adapt to it and move on. I can't sit there being upset about it because it
Okay,
doesn't change
okay.
it.
All right. Well, I like your attitude. Sometimes, um, even when things are tough, sometimes we need to just understand that they're tough and to just try to get as much information as we can about what's happening and move forward. And it sounds like that's kind of the kind of mentality that you've had. And that's good. I like that. So what kind of what modality, what form of dialysis have you chosen to do? Are you going in clinic to do dialysis?
I go Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
6 in the morning to about 9:30.
Okay. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. And and how are the people, the technicians, the renal nurse, how has the staff there, how have the people treated you? Do you like her? Do you
Oh,
get along
I
with
love
them?
everyone there. Everyone there is awesome. Like
Awesome. That's
everyone there
great.
is amazing. Like, I'm so glad I got that dialysis center. Like everyone is amazing. They work with me if something happens where I have to leave early for school or something. They work with me. They're amazing. Like
Wow,
I'm
that's
so
great.
grateful
So
that
they
I
work
got
with you, they're flexible.
yeah, they're good.
Super. So and it sounds like you've got a good rapport. So what what some people don't understand, man, and this is why this makes me really happy to hear that, Matt, is that when you go to dialysis, it is so important that you have a good relationship or a good rapport with these people, because if you go there not liking and not getting along with these people, then you're dreading it. You know what I mean? You're not looking
Yeah,
forward to it, and because it's not exactly a party. It's
yeah,
not
true.
fun and games to go to dialysis, and then you add on top of that you don't get along with these people. It can make it so much more difficult. And then if you have a trust like this, a good relationship, then you understand that if you got like that bond, that if something may happen, there's that trust level, and that's important. It's significant. It really is. That's good. And with going to dialysis, how do you feel generally? You know, after dialysis? Do you feel refreshed, or do you still feel somewhat drained? Do you have to take a nap, or how is your day in the life after dialysis?
So it's very funny. I think because every once in a while I feel tired after, but I don't know. I just because I the days I have dialysis, I go to work. I have work right after.
Okay.
I would go to dialysis, leave at 9:30, go home, get dressed, and head right to work. And I work from 12 to 12 at night. And usually, I generally feel okay. I don't feel there's no difference in how I feel. I feel normal. I feel the same how I feel on a day I don't have dialysis to a day when I have dialysis.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I didn't don't really feel that different. In the beginning, it was a little weird. I felt a little tired, but now it's been 4 years. I've gotten used to it. And as I said, it's maybe a mentality thing where I decide if I have to go to work or have to get something done so I can't sit down and go sleep or whatever.
Okay.
If there's
Okay.
if there's a day when or I leave the office and I don't have anything to do afterwards, I will go home and rest. But I maybe rest for hours and then I'm back up and do what I gotta do. But
Mm-hmm.
overall, I am fine. I think I'm okay. My doctor said it's not very usual. It's
It's
not very often
not,
you get a
no.
patient that does that. Like,
Yeah, that's not very usual. It's unusual in most cases. So it's, and it's going to be different for each person, of course. There's not one size fits all. And but generally, in the literally hundreds of people that I've interviewed, people tell me that they feel more refreshed on one day, and then on another day they may feel like totally drained and exhausted and they have to take a nap afterwards, and then and then of course one day they may they may feel like they've got to vomit or they've got a headache, or there are just so many different levels of how it may make you feel based on if you're eating well, or if you have drunk, if you've had too much fluid, or so on and so forth. But it's if you're feeling well enough where you're not feeling like that tired. Hey, there we go, living testimony 12. What is going on, Philip? Then what generally happens, so I want to give a shout out to Philip, Philip Jones Jr. He's watching right now. Thank you. So everyone who's watching right now, I just want to say, so Matt Peters is my guest right now on the Warriors Quest show. And Matt Peters is originally from Jamaica. He's living in Florida. He's been on dialysis for 4 years now, if I remember that correctly, Matt.
yeah.
And he's doing in-center dialysis Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And we're just talking about right now how he's saying that, he doesn't necessarily always feel tired afterwards, and he feels generally pretty good, and it's somewhat unusual. So, but that's not a bad thing. But when I hear that, though, what that makes me think, Matt, and this leads me to a question, all right? And I'd like to hear what Philip may say is what kind of diet are you doing, and what kind of what are you doing health wise? Yeah, exactly. So we've got Nashonda, lovely Nashonda, saying he's more than a warrior. He is. It's just incredible. So if anybody else here is watching, and if this is if just as unusual it is to me, please drop a comment. But he says that he does generally feel well after dialysis, and that's great. But what kind of diet do you have, or how difficult it is for you to keep your fluids under control and so on and so forth?
So it's not necessarily. I've never really had issues with keeping with fluid. Like for my 4 years on that, I've never had issues with being. I've never had issues with being overloaded with fluid. Um, Diet wise, I don't think anything really interesting or different. I generally eat normally, eat what a normal
Okay.
person. I try to cut out salt. I'm not a big fan of salt. Anything with salt, I try to cut out too much of that.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a paramedic, so at the end of the day, I'm always up and down.
All right. You're
Moving
you're always
moving
moving.
patients in the ambulance, out of the ambulance, putting them on a stretcher, off the stretcher, lifting equipment. So, but I don't think I'm doing anything different.
Well, that's quite a job. That says a lot about your character. Do you enjoy doing that? Is that gratifying?
I love it. I love it so much. It's amazing. Well, 2 3 years ago, I did not plan on doing it. I'm doing this. Never planned on doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy I did it because I've encountered so many, especially people on dialysis. I've encountered so many people on dialysis, and I've seen how some people they don't like it. Some people want to give up on life. Some people get tired, and when I tell them that I'm on dialysis, they're like shocked.
Okay, right on.
I'm 25. I'm young. People are like
Yeah,
surprised to see that I'm on dialysis and all that.
right.
But I think just keeping a positive attitude at the end of the day because it could have been a lot worse. I've seen people with in some very dire
Amen.
situations.
Amen.
It could be a lot worse.
Amen to
So
that, brother. But your positive outlook is tremendous. It really is a great asset, a great quality of yours, because you know it it isn't easy, because still at the end of the day you have kidney failure, and it's you still at the end of the day need a transplant, or you at least if you don't get a transplant, then you're going to be on dialysis for a longer period of time. When that happens, it brings just a little mystery or unknown, and the quality of life statistically obviously is much better with a transplant. And so we've got some other people joining here. I want to say thank you for joining and thank you for watching. We've got Matt Peters here. So just for the new people that joined, so Matt Peters is originally from Jamaica, lives in Florida, and he's been on dialysis for 4 years. He's now he's on the transplant list, and he's looking for a living kidney donor because we all know that if we can't find a living kidney donor, then it's a better quality of life, number one, and number two, statistically, the transplanted kidney from a living kidney donor will last longer statistically. Now there are some exceptions. Man, I could tell you, there's one that comes to mind is George Franklin. He's had I think he's probably one of or not the has the longest transplant from a deceased donor. But at any rate, so so the Nashonda is asking where in Florida?
South Florida, like
South Florida?
yeah, Palm Beach County.
Okay. And I had the information when we were going to stream it with Restream. I was going to stream it, and so I don't have it right now, but I'm going to upload it in the comment section after this is finished. But we've got let me bring it up on my laptop here. One moment. So while I'm trying to do that, if you would share with us what your transplant hospital's name is, if you would please, while I'm trying to find that information.
Oh, it's Cleveland Clinic in Weston.
There we go. Thank you. So Weston Hospital, the Cleveland Clinic, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So he's listed at the transplant hospital. It's Weston Hospital, Cleveland Clinic in Florida. All right. And so this is that's his transplant hospital information, folks. And we're trying to get his word out. We're trying to make sure that we give him as much that if you share this, okay, like I say a lot on the Warriors Quest show, don't be stingy. All right, share because we care, and we want to come together because we do great things when we're united and we come together. And that's one way in which we can do that is by coming together, sharing this information. All right. And so I'm going to, again, try to get that hospital information after this is finished, after this live is finished. But for the moment, if you would, please share this to Twitter, share this to Facebook, and let other people know that Jared A. Brown from the Warriors Quest show is live on Instagram and I'm trying to get my friend here, Matt's story out there. Thanks, Nashonda. So the job, your job that you do, and I just find that fascinating, and I love that. I think that if you're helping people, that may help you forget about yourself as well, because if anybody's a believer, anybody who has faith, we generally understand that if we're serving other people, we tend to forget about our own problems. Do you feel that that's helped you for maybe not necessarily have it on your mind all the time that you have kidney failure if you're serving other people and helping other people with your job?
Well, yes, when you're taking care of someone else, you're worried about their issue and trying to help them get that issue sorted out. So then I'm not worried about myself in that moment. But then when I'm alone, and then there's, for example, my goal, I want to become a firefighter, right? I want to be a firefighter, but due to me being on dialysis, and my doctors don't want me to do it. They said maybe after transplant I can get it done, but currently at the moment, no, because the fact that in fire school there's the heat and dehydration and drinking all the fluids and all that. I don't want that issue to come up.
Okay, okay.
But my
And
doctor said after transplant everything's good. Roughly, if I'm good for a year or so, said it should be fine for me to go to fire school.
well, I'm hoping that we can get that to happen sooner versus later. 25 years old, you've got a lot of life ahead of you, and so I'm hoping that that we can help you find a kidney donor very soon. You strike me as a person who has a very good character, and nothing would make me happier than if you were to hit me up and message me back and say, "Hey, listen, I finally got a kidney transplant." That would make me really happy, my brother. Seriously, that'd be good news if I got that. But one question I have for you though is that oftentimes depending upon your levels or your labs and your statistics, some people have to worry about they have to take binders because of phosphorus. Are you taking binders, or are your levels a little lower where that's not necessarily a big deal?
I take binders with every food I eat, with every meal I eat. I take binders.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. And is it the powdered kind or the pill?
It's a pill, but it's like chalky. I don't like it at all. But I have to take it.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking. Is that many people that I've interviewed have talked to me about that as well, and they've mentioned it tastes like chalk sometimes. It doesn't taste good at all. Hey, thank you, Nashonda.
Thank you
She
very much.
says she's going to share it on her platform as well. Thank you, and she's saying, best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
All right, so the binders, obviously we want to make sure that the phosphorus is low, because man, it is crazy. This is that phosphorus is just in about everything. It's nuts,
Yeah.
right? It's the reason why probably they probably have talked to you about not drinking like dark colored colas and soda, because of they make the verbiage a little tricky sometimes, phosphate, phosphorus, but it's a lot of different things, and they're seriously tricky about trying to hide it sometimes.
Yeah. I try to read labels and stuff before.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, and the thing is there's also the difference between potassium that's organic, and then there's the inorganic potassium, and so there are differences that way as well. But I've interviewed other people, Matt, that have been in contact with a renal dietitian, and in some cases that can really help somebody. But for you seem pretty on top of everything, and you say you feel pretty well most of the time, so maybe a renal dietitian wouldn't necessarily be a great fit for you, since you seem to be going in a very progressing pretty well with what you're doing right now.
I still have one. There was one at the center that sees me like.
Okay, they offer you one there too?
Yeah, there's one that
okay.
sees me like twice a month.
Well, we talked a little bit about the staff and and the technicians, and that you get along with the people that work there, the employees. What about like the other patients, the other kidney patients there? Have you been able to maybe make a friend here and there?
I don't really talk. To be honest, I don't really talk to anyone much of anybody else than the staff. Like I literally go in at 6, and then I sleep through the whole thing. Like every time I go
All
there, I
right.
sleep. Sleep the entire thing. When they finish, they wake me up. They
Okay. All
give
right.
me
So you
access
take a
and
nap then, huh?
I always sleep.
Okay. All right. Well, if that works for you, that's good. Whatever helps you and gets your, and whatever is good for you is good. And you know your body better than anybody else. I know that some other people will listen to music. Other people will watch Netflix, or they'll watch the Family Feud, or, this, that, or the other. But, if you feel like taking a nap is good and that helps you through it, then good. You know, it's not a one size fits all. You know what I mean? And it sounds like that's been working for you.
Not so far.
The what's maybe one of the maybe one of the scariest things you've seen at dialysis, or what's been one of the most difficult things that you've witnessed when you've been at dialysis? Has there been any like emergency or anything that maybe has
Yeah,
been difficult to
yeah.
watch?
They're not difficult to watch, but there've been emergencies there.
Okay, all right.
But there've been
That,
emergencies. There've been people that went in cardiac arrest.
wow,
Um,
wow. Was it anybody that you knew, that anybody you'd like interacted with or spoken to before?
yeah, I've spoke. Yeah, the person was someone I spoke to before. It was
Okay.
I'm not Jamaican. It was another Jamaican gentleman. Yeah. So, but I
Wow.
think yeah, they said he
That
was fine. They got him out. He was out of the hospital a few weeks afterwards, and they said he's fine. I haven't seen
okay.
him since. They said he was fine. The staff said he was fine.
Okay. He's doing fine. Good. Good. Well, that can be a hard and difficult thing. I've made a lot of friends, and I've met a lot of people in the kidney disease community, and I've also lost some friends in the kidney disease community because they've passed away. You know, I've had somebody die of a heart attack, like you're talking about right here, or I've lost some other people due to some other things. And so it can be a difficult thing. But the next thing I wanted to kind of talk to you just a little bit about is, um, so with looking for a living kidney donor, have generally what happens is people have family members, and they're going through family members, they're talking to their family members, and then they kind of talk to their friends and other people. But have, do you have family members that may be able to donate to you, or what's happened with your family? Is it that has prevented them from stepping up and becoming a donor for you?
So my dad has underlying illnesses that
Okay.
he has hypertension and diabetes, so he can't do that. And I have a sister, but I haven't heard from her in years.
Okay.
So she's hard to get in contact with. But other than that, I have no close family member here.
Okay. Okay. Well, sometimes the sometimes we have the family that are blood, blood related, and then we have family that basically is just our friends that are so close that they're brothers and sisters to us because of the way they act and stuff. So, I'm hoping that someone here who's watching, or somebody who watches this later after I upload it to YouTube and some other things, that they watch and they become your new brother or sister as a living donor, and that can happen as well, and so, God works in mysterious ways, and God works miracles. I firmly believe that we have miracles today. I do. I have that faith. I really do. And I know that the power of social media can help us. But if someone were, watching, and that someone is a potential donor, and they're watching right now, what would you tell that person in regards to what it would mean to you for them, for you personally to have a transplant? And what would that mean to you? How would that change your life?
That would tremendously change my life. There was more. I get more. I would have more opportunity to do other stuff. It would possibly prolong my life. That's the biggest one.
Yes.
Um, I, would, I don't know. I'd be too overjoyed to explain it. To be honest, it's for the past 4 years. That's all I've been thinking about. I'm hoping it happens. So for it to happen, it'd be like it'd be so surreal. So I would just there would be no way I could not think about it to thank that person.
It sounds like you're saying you'd be a little overjoyed. It'd be hard.
Yeah.
It would be hard to believe it's happening.
Mhm. Yeah, it'd be so hard. But I'd love for that day to come.
So would I. That would make me overjoyed. It would make me really happy, and it's why I do advocate for kidney patients, because it's when I get the call, or when I get the call or a message from somebody who says that they're going to get a transplant. It's one of the best messages or calls that I can ever get. And I've also, it's it's very it's very, very important for me to continue to do this, because with you and other people that are out there, there's so many people waiting for a transplant, and it's so discouraging because we have so many healthy people out there that could donate, but either don't understand how to do it or don't understand uh, how someone can lead a normal life afterwards. So there's miseducation, misinformation, and if we have more awareness and they get that information, then we can steer them maybe in and get them inspired and have a different train of thought. And that's really why I love doing this, is to try to help build more awareness and get people inspired. Because Matt, inspiration happens every day. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
I really firmly believe every single day we get inspired. Now, it's not always we're going to move a mountain, right? It's not always a big miracle, or it's not like this big, huge manifestation. But if God loves us, He loves all of us, and I think that every
Hmm.
day, in some way, He's showing us that, and that's sometimes small amounts of inspiration, and sometimes maybe a little bigger if we're praying about something, and He knows it's near and dear to our hearts. But inspiration is powerful, and I'm hoping that somebody gets inspired and hears your story, that 25, been on dialysis for 4 years, and how it would change your life, and that how you would be overjoyed if you got a kidney transplant. So I'm hoping that inspiration starts by someone who shares this, someone who watches this, and even if it's on replay after I've uploaded it to YouTube and these other places, Twitter or whatnot. But that's sincerely my hope for you. And I'm hoping that everyone else who's either watching live right now or watches this on replay, that you can help me make that happen, because um, I believe in you, Matt, and I believe just by you talking, I can sense that you're a good man. And I can tell that just by, again, by the way you talk, and then by your job, you love helping people. And so I'm hoping that other people can understand this as well. So anyway, again, if you're just joining us now, or if you watch this on replay and you skip some parts, then my special guest tonight is Matt Peters. He's been on dialysis for 4 years now, and he's looking for a living kidney donor. His transplant hospital is in Weston. It's the Cleveland Clinic in Florida, and so we're trying to help people understand his search for a living kidney donor and how it would give him better quality of life. So, Matt, with with the way you conduct yourself, and the way the way you look somewhat healthy, that can be maybe a little bit deceiving for people. And one of the things that many other patients have said that share your similar story where they look good on the outside. Have you ever gotten from anybody you don't look sick? Has that ever
Yeah,
been
all the
said to you before?
time. All the time. Especially
All the
people that,
time?
especially fellow people that have been on dialysis. I told them and tell them about that I'm on it also. They look surprised. They're like, you don't look like you. They would have never known unless I told them.
Yeah. Well, it sometimes could be a compliment, but then it could be a little frustrating because, you know, in their mind, how do they know how someone's supposed to look who's on dialysis? Do you know what I mean? What makes them the expert? Yeah. And so it's like sometimes when I hear that, I understand they mean well because maybe they think that you know, maybe don't look like you're about to faint or, you know, you don't have bruises or whatever, you know, and I don't know what they necessarily have in mind, but it just sometimes is a little frustrating to hear that too, because, you know, do you really have to look sick for someone to help? You know, because I've often thought that if we always thought that somebody had to look sick before we help them, would we help? You know, if an elderly woman is crossing the street and she looks pretty limber and she looks agile, you know, she's still an elderly person and her bones may not be the best at her age. Would we not stop just because she looks like she's doing a fine job? You know, looks can be so deceiving, and we shouldn't just allow the outward appearance of somebody to dictate whether we help them or not. You know what I mean? What if, you know, I had something, I was in an accident and a rock fell on me. If I didn't have it like actually puncture me, but my ribs are bruised and I had my shirt on and I didn't look like I'm sick, but I asked for help, if nobody helped me, wouldn't that be a shame? Because if my ribs are broken, I probably really need help. You know what I mean?
You
And
have internal bleeding.
yeah, I've got Patricia watching right now. I want to give a special shout out to Patricia Yates. Patricia, so she is a great supporter of mine. That's the reason why I want to stop and say hi while she's watching. Is I typically multi-stream or simultaneously stream this to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all live, and I stream this, you know, to like 15 different stations. But we had some technical difficulties, and so I'm streaming live on Instagram tonight, and I'm going to upload it to the other social platforms later, social media platforms. And so, Patricia, thank you for tuning in. Yeah, thank you so much. So, Patricia, this is Matt Peters. Matt Peters has been on dialysis for 4 years now. He goes in center Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And his staff, he says, is amazing. And he gets along with them very well, good people. And he's on the transplant list, Weston, the Cleveland Clinic in Florida. So anyway, so seriously, that's you've got a great optimism. I love your way of looking at things, your positive vibe. What I'd like to do though, again, is just try to help somebody who may be watching who doesn't quite understand. And you know, when I mentioned just a moment ago that sometimes, you know, oh, there's Nina. Oh my gosh, here we go. So this is another kidney warrior that's watching right now. Her name's Nina. Matt, Nina was on my show as well, the Warriors Quest show. And so Nina, this is Matt Peters. Matt Peters has been on dialysis for 4 years. He goes in center Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and he loves his staff. So Patricia says, my staff, they're amazing as well. I love them. And just started back in June. I knew that you were back on dialysis. I just didn't know for how long, Patricia. Thank you. So she's back on dialysis, Matt. And then Nina, what is going on? Nina, everyone, we're talking about just now, of course, the people say that, you know, in many cases, and these other warriors that are watching right now, Matt will probably confirm that they've heard this at one time, Patricia, Nina, anybody else who's still watching, if you've ever heard, and Nina, if you've ever heard you don't look sick. If anyone has said to you, you don't look sick. All right. So, and I mention that because Matt says that in many ways he feels well after dialysis, which to me, again, is a testament to you because you take care of your body. But it also says a lot about your staff in center because it sounds like they're taking good care of you as well for you to feel well. But at any rate, that's what we're kind of discussing is that, kidney patients get that quite often. If you've gotten that, drop a comment, please. But what I'd like to do is for someone who's watching who doesn't have, I know Nina says here all the time, for someone who's watching who's a potential living donor, somebody who doesn't have a family member, somebody who's never interacted with somebody on dialysis, that's the people I want to kind of inspire, right? Because and in order to do that, let's try to help them understand how this affects you in some sort of bad way. What other things, have you dealt with because of your kidney failure? Have you dealt with insomnia, anemia?
Yeah, I've done anemia. I've had anemia. Actually, the funny thing is, last year in February, I was in cardiac arrest.
What?
I went to the surgery on my fistula because they thought
Okay.
During the surgery, I went to cardiac arrest due to a reaction to the diet they had given me. So I was unresponsive for 3 minutes. They had done CPR and all that stuff.
Wow. Wow. You had a cardiac arrest and you were unresponsive for about 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. How scary is that? Wow.
And I work cardiac arrest on people.
That's right. You help people on the other end when they're having problems like that. Wow. So after they were able to get you to be responsive, what was going through your mind when they told you that you had a heart attack?
So it was, to be honest, it didn't really shock me that much. Or I wasn't shocked about the fact that I went into cardiac arrest. I was like, all right, I'm here, I'm alive. And then I literally
Grateful
got out.
alive still. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 days, and I went right back to school because I wasn't at that time I was in EMT school.
Uh-huh.
I came out like 3 days later and went right back to school the following week. So.
Wow, that is amazing. So, a cardiac arrest, you weren't responsive for about 3 minutes, and so after 3 days, you went back to school, and you were working again after 3 days?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, so thank you for sharing that because that's incredible, by the way. It's, so for anybody who doesn't quite understand why commonly we call kidney disease patients warriors, that's why. I mean, seriously, you battled and and you still live. And that's a great illustration of what thanks for the hearts. Please, more hearts, because that is an incredible story. A heart attack and you still live, and you've got and you're happy to be alive. What a great attitude, great outlook. But to shed some light on this is that because dialysis and the way it's connected to blood and to your heart, that's, it's a concern. And, and Nina's saying, right, it's, it's the blood and your heart, it's all connected when you're doing dialysis, right? And we want to always make sure that people who are watching, right now tonight, or if this again is on replay and you're watching this as a replay, that is exactly why I am promoting and advocating for kidney patients is because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Tomorrow is not promised. All right. The only person who could maybe promise tomorrow is, our God. And he doesn't always tell us, we don't always know. And if tomorrow isn't promised and tomorrow is not guaranteed, let's make sure that we do extend his life, because nothing would break my heart more than to hear that you didn't get a living kidney donor and there was another heart attack and you didn't make it. And so that would be heartbreaking to hear that, the opportunity to get a living kidney donor never happened, and you never got the call for a deceased donor, Angel, and you had another heart attack. That would be heartbreaking to hear. And so that's my plea. It's my request for anybody who's watching. All right. And this is why I do what I do, and why I try to advocate for people like Matt and for Nina and Patricia and other people that are watching, because I want to help them get a kidney faster than waiting 3-5 years. They say 3 to 5 years, but man, I know some warriors that have been on dialysis for 10 years, 11 years, longer, 12. And so I realize that sometimes 3 to 5 years is commonly heard and said, and but sometimes these heavily populated areas, it may take even longer because of how many people are condensed, in that one area. And so it's really urgent. It's really urgent. There's that sense of urgency that we just need to help you as quickly as possible so that you're, not having to have that risk of another heart attack. So what did any of your, coworkers say, friends, anybody that you told afterwards about that heart attack? How concerned were they? That'd be very alarming.
Yeah, everyone was pretty scared. But the funny thing is, I wasn't worried too much about it, to be honest.
Well,
It didn't.
I applaud you. I applaud you because, if you can keep calm and, illustrate that you're not panicking about the whole thing, then I applaud you, because it's not an easy thing to do. And maybe that's what helps you with what you do with your work, is maybe you can stay calm under pressure. And if that's the case, then that's good.
Because I knew the cardiac arrest wasn't due to my heart. It was due to a reaction to the dye. They had given me a dye, and it was a reaction to the dye that caused it. So I knew it wasn't my heart per se that caused it. So
Okay. All right. I get it. Well, that is still very scary. And, I certainly want to make sure that people understand that, and that's why it's so important to, as much as possible, that we try to help kidney patients find a living kidney donor. Because, man, it's just not guaranteed. I have had a friend who was going in center and chose to switch to peritoneal dialysis. And when she first started PD, Matt, it wasn't going well, and she wasn't feeling well. It hurt, but she stuck through it because people said, hey, it's just kind of uneasy, and it's difficult in the beginning, but once you get used to it, it's better. And anyway, there were complications, and sadly, one day I got the call that she had passed away. And it's one of the hardest things to go through, is when I've advocated and I've gotten to know, I've talked to someone over the phone, or I've interacted with somebody and I've gotten to know them, and then they've passed away. It's tough. It's part of the emotions, of course, of being in the kidney disease community. But I'm sure that you and all these other patients that are watching right now, Nina and Patricia, and anybody else who may be watching right now can attest that that's the perfect example of being, with being with kidney failures. It's a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's one day is a good day and the other day may not be so good, right? Uh, what are some other things besides this incredible story about a heart attack? Have you ever battled with, anything else that has made you have to go to the hospital that's related to what you're going through? Have there been some other things that have happened?
So the only issue I've had is my fistula clots like quite often. So I've been to the hospital to do a thrombectomy on it like 15 times.
Okay.
The staff knows me. Every time I go in there, I'm like, "Oh, you here again, Matt?" Like, they know me. So, but I haven't had any other complications other
Okay.
than the clot. That's it.
Well, one of the things I'd like to kind of talk to you about is I've got, and I'll send you some links if I can, but I'd like to give you as much help as possible. And two things I'd like to share with you as we get a little closer to the end of this interview is that I'm active in trying to always find good, like nonprofit organizations, people that help, and I've been very fortunate enough to find two really good nonprofit organizations. One is called the Kidney Search Foundation. And the Kidney Search Foundation is a 501c, I believe. It's a nonprofit organization. And their website, and I'll put it in the comments section. And Nina, there we go. She's got a comment here. I want to read this. I've been blessed. I have not had to go back to the hospital for kidney issues. The fatigue for her is difficult. I remember that when I interviewed her, the chronic fatigue. Oh yeah. So I've got one other question I have for you before I, hopefully I don't get my brain doesn't get distracted again. But so the Kidney Search Foundation, Matt, is a really good one, and I'll send you the link in the messenger. But it's kidneysearchfoundation.org.
All right.
And I'll send you the link, but it's a really good nonprofit organization because they help you with promotional tools for you to search for a living kidney donor. The promotional tools are, it's pretty amazing. It really is. It goes from things like a car magnet, a car banner, like that banner you put on the very back car window. They help you with a lawn sign. If you don't live in an apartment, if you have a house, and there's a lawn sign. They can help you with the T-shirt. They help you with a banner, like I can't remember if it's like 2 feet by 5 feet. I don't remember what the dimensions are, but they can help you with a banner, and you can maybe put the banner like on, if you get permission to put it like on a school's chain link fence, or other places, but you can get creative that way with a banner. And they've got, anyway, they've got other things too. I'm probably missing out, or I can't remember all of them, but they've got like just a long line of different promotional items, and they're all free. Okay. Wow. Yeah. So it's not one of those things where it's a bait and switch where you click on it, give them your email address, and then all of a sudden they start marketing you. It's not it. I wouldn't give out their information or talk about them if that were the case, but it's a really good one. It's kidneysearchfoundation.org, and I'll send you the link. But the second one is designatshirt.com. And in a similar way, it's also free. What they do is you get a chance to sign up. Yeah, free is the key. That's right. And this is the reason why I find free. Okay, it's not because I think that you know, that sometimes it's not good to spend a little money, but when you're a kidney disease patient, okay, the last thing on your mind is when this disease is hitting you hard and you're 25 like Matt and you're trying to survive just to make rent or you know or pay your bills. You don't have to worry about spending a bunch of money on different things. And so if I can find a nonprofit organization that genuinely is going to help you, I'm going to send as many people this information as possible. And so, oh yeah, by the way, so on my Instagram, okay, I've got it. I've got my my link tree URL on my Instagram, and I have the Kidney Search Foundation in my link tree when you click on it, and I have a little button that you can just click on it, and it reads Kidney Search Foundation. So you can just click on my URL link tree on my Instagram, and you can find that as one of the options. Again, the other one is the designatshirt.com or designatshirt.com. At any rate, this company will help you with 5 free t-shirts, 5 of them. And so it's 5 free t-shirts. So who knows, instead of wearing a, you know, like this is for the sitcom The Office, right? And wearing that, it's like if I'm you know, if I'm rocking a t-shirt for one of my kidney warriors that I'm advocating for, and I'm in a Walmart, or let's say I go to an NBA game, right? And I'm watching an NBA game. Think about all the people in an NBA arena, right? And I'm wearing a t-shirt that has a phone number and a name of somebody whom I'm advocating for. Or you go to this designatshirt.com and you get 5 free t-shirts, and you're in a place that has a lot of people. Of course, you want to be careful. You know, you're already not feeling well and you're a kidney patient, but if you've got a mask on or however you feel is being careful, and you are careful, then having a t-shirt and you're in a public place like that, or in a subway, or wherever there are people, then hopefully you can generate maybe somebody who will call you. You know what I mean? And it's 5 free t-shirts. So anyway, so it's super simple too, Matt, where you basically click on the link, and I've got the designatshirt.com website in my link tree as well. And you just go to my Instagram, you'll find the URL for my link tree. Click on it and scroll down below, and you'll find 5 free t-shirts from designatshirt.com. You click on it, you design a t-shirt, and you could be, you know, just keep it simple, right? I mean, you could be a little creative if you're a really good creator. You know, I'm not saying don't use your creativity, but you don't have to be like a marketing guru, right? You could easily just put, I need a kidney, or I need a kidney donor, I need a kidney transplant, your transplant hospital phone number, and maybe call Matt needs a kidney, or however you want to phrase it. Just, you know, keep it somewhat simple. You don't have to put your transplant hospital name. Just put call and then the phone number, and keep it somewhat simple so it's not too busy on the shirt. Pretty simple to read. And then all of a sudden you're wearing it and maybe you get a call. But anyway, so those are 2 really good nonprofit organizations. I'd be happy to send that information to you to help you with your kidney, you know, your living kidney donor search, okay?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome. But before we leave, what I'd like to do is just give you an opportunity to, I call this the end of the show, the shout out time. Whom would you like to shout out? Whom would you like to thank? Whom would you like to kind of give credit for always being in your corner, so to speak?
So I'd like to thank my family, first of all. Then I'd like to thank my nurses at the Dialysis Center. Those ladies have been amazing for the past 4 years that I've been there. They've helped me so much. And I'd like to thank you also for bringing me onto the show, for inviting me on.
You're welcome. Absolutely. It's my pleasure. God's plan, brother. God's plan. And so I'm hoping that everyone who's watching right now, Team Princess DC, um, Deborah, Debbie Perez, Lorray, 42 42,000. Anyone else who's watching or watches this on replay, please don't be stingy. Okay, please share this. Help us. Help us get the story out there. I'll put in the comment section your transplant hospital URL. It'll be a clickable link in the comment section. And let's help get the word out that Matt needs a kidney donor. All right. Thank you, Nina. Oh, okay, Lori. Okay, I know who this is now. Lori. It's Lori and Ray. So I know Lori and Ray. Lori is the wife, and Ray just got a transplant recently. In fact, yeah. So thanks, guys, for watching. So the good news is, Matt, is Ray here. It reads right here, Lori and Ray, their husband and wife. And Ray not only got a kidney transplant, but he got a transplant from a living kidney donor. Yeah, so I'm so happy they're watching right now because they can confirm that it happens. In fact, the way it happened is quite amazing. I have an identical twin brother, Matt. Can you believe that? There's somebody else walking around with this face, and my twin brother, yes. My twin brother was, he was doing a live stream show, kind of like this, only not on Instagram, right? Mm-hmm. And he was interviewing Ray, and somebody watched. I can't remember. Hopefully, Lori and Ray can help me understand. Whether I think it was a replay, could have been live, but I think it was a replay, and it was shared to this man, and he felt inspired and became the living donor for them. And the living donor and Lori and Ray, they're all still connected. They're all friends still, and they interact with each other. In fact, for Ray's birthday, the living donor helped celebrate Ray's birthday. It's very, very, very cool story. But at any rate, so I think that's great they're watching, because this, again, is an illustration that it can happen. It does happen. Ray has had help, and a living donor found him because of a live stream interview much like this. Thank God, okay, I'm not alone. I have my followers, and I've got people, kidney disease patients, much like the ones that are watching right now, and others that help me. I never do this alone. My twin brother, everyone else who's connected with me, we all are in this together. But I have been able to help people find a living donor myself as well, and it's gratifying, and I love it, and I want that for you, Matt. So it is my prayer.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Very welcome. May God bless you. May God bless you. You're a good soul. And a small ask, if I may, is if you get a living kidney donor, or the transplant hospital calls you and there's an angel that has been called by God and passes away and is a deceased donor angel, and you get a transplant from someone who's deceased, hit me up, message me on Instagram, and let me know about it, okay?
For sure will.
All right. And I'm going to do what I can to I'm going to upload this and get it shared on Facebook, YouTube, and my other platforms, so I can get the word out a little bit more as well, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Matt, for coming on. Thank you.
All right. No problem. Have a good night.
Good night. God bless you. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
All right, guys. So I'm so happy I did this. If you haven't been inspired, watch this at the very beginning. Realize that right now you can't, but I'm going to upload it. Maybe watch it, please, from the very beginning, because what a great soul. May God be with Matt. Exactly, Lori and Ray. What a good person. He helps people in his occupation on a daily basis, and he has been on dialysis for 4 years now. He's looking for a living donor and asking for our help. So please don't be stingy, all right? Don't be stingy, because the best things happen when we're selfless. Best things happen when we're showing love, when we're charitable. So please share this and help me get the word out that he needs a living donor. All right. Thank you for watching. May God bless all of you. And may we continue, all right, to uplift and encourage other kidney disease patients. All right. God bless. All right. Thank you for watching. Peace. I'm out.